It's the 11th of June and I can't believe it. We're a third of the way through Pride Month, the month we all express our affection for and compliance with the ideology and contrivances of the sorry, Justin, what was it again?
LBG.
Sorry, the LBG, where's the T gone?
Two.
LGBTQ2+.
So there's a plus now? What's the two? Hang on, what, Justin?
2S LGBTQI+.
Whew, thanks, Justin. Whew. And remind me again, Justin, which flag should we be saluting? Excellent, and indeed that is precisely what the US Air Force are now doing. They are proposing to show our pride that we salute the flag. That's the one there, of course, the transgender, etc., flag that has virtually entirely replaced the rainbow flag of the gay community of only a few years ago, the flag of same-sex marriage. Indeed, there are now gay groups, LGB groups, who are actively agitating to break away from the trans and queer groups, the TQ+, etc. And little wonder, as has been pointed out to me by many gay people, the militant transgender movement is in fact deeply homophobic. In some cases, lesbians, for instance, are forced to not only accept, but are also demonized if they don't sleep with trans women, i.e. men. Here's a Californian fifth grade teacher called Ray Shelton, who has since been suspended from his job partly for talking plain common sense to a bunch of transgender activists.
Men do not menstruate. Only women menstruate. Now, you can call yourself whatever you want.
Cis men don't menstruate, but trans men do menstruate.
No,
Same
they
as
don't.
non-binary people.
Only women.
Menstruating is not exclusive.
Yes.
This is how insane this ideology has become. This is what happens when you allow children to be educated by political activists. They live in a fantasy world devoid of any sound basis in reality. And just watch the look of incomprehension on their faces when presented with reality. It's like they've never heard of it before.
Tell me what a man is.
Well, what's a man to you? You define a man for me.
You have chromosomes that are X and Y. That's what a man is.
So why are we just looking at the science of this as an example?
Science.
When we've learned sex and gender identity are they're completely different things.
They're not completely
They
different
are completely different.
Completely different words.
And sex is what you're born with, the sexual reproductive organs you have. Gender is what you identify with. They're completely
Well, I don't
different
accept that
things.
distinction. You have to argue for it. You're just giving a conclusion. You're just making it up. The people who hate the truth, are because they see the truth as hateful. If you want to identify in any way you can, you're free to do so. But that does not mean that the rest of us have to join that illusion.
As I said, for stating those simple truths, as well as displaying 4 transgender flags cut together to look like a swastika, he lost his job and he's now trying to sue the school to get it back. But it's hardly surprising, is it, that this nonsense has spread like wildfire. This is what happens when you devote your entire education system to ideological propaganda, starting really young, like this.
We want to uplift and celebrate our LGBTQIA+ family, friends, and communities.
Yeah, that's right, Miss Ariana. From our Sesame Street family to yours, happy Pride!
Soon after, followed by this. Or this. And before you know it, you're graduating to free prosthetic penises to all comers of all ages at a trans resistance march.
Out there. Yeah, that's
And before you know it, the kiddies are invited to witness this sort of stuff. And I warn you to avert your eyes if the kids are present and watching at a public pride march on Santa Monica Boulevard, recently advertised as family friendly.
I did.
Politicians, of course, are always keen to get in on the act, in this case with Sister Roma.
So proud of Sister Roma and her work in the community, and I'm proud of California for standing strong to support LGBTQ people.
And sorry, just remind me again, who is this outstanding role model for the LGBT community? Oh, she's part of the, quote, badass, unquote, group known as the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, involved with such artistic and sensitive gems as this one. And fresh from spending time praising Sister Roma, that same politician amended a recent bill to make it possible in California for any parent who does not affirm their child's transgenderism to be charged with child abuse. Think about that. What a bizarre world we live in. But at least some individuals are starting to fight back against the madness. Also in the States, a group of Muslims and immigrants confronted LGBT activists screaming, "Not your children, protect our children."
This is the community here that is working to basically protect the indoctrination happening. We're not your children! We're not your children! We're not your children!
And this is a great way to split the left, getting traditional minority immigrant communities to break away and express their opposition to this gender insanity. But as I keep on saying, it's the gay community who are slowly waking up to how pernicious the radical trans agenda is.
There is no pride in sexualizing children at drag shows.
There is no pride in mutilating and sterilizing children in the name of gender-affirming care.
This June, what are you proud of? Because we have some issues that we need to talk about.
We're fighting back from inside the community. Join Gays Against Groomers in the battle against radical gender ideology that is destroying our youth.
There you go. In Italy, meanwhile, Conservative Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has declared a family Pride Month to promote traditional family values and pride in them. Maybe Albo could draw on his own Italian heritage and do the same thing here. And then have a listen to this poem, written by a 14-year-old girl, an Irish girl, against what she sees as the tyranny of the trans agenda.
I am not a dress. We are women. We are warriors of steel. Woman is something no man will ever feel. Woman is not a skill that any man can hone. Woman is our word and is ours alone. I am not a dress to be worn on a whim. A man in a dress is nonetheless a him. Women are not simply what we wear. If this offends you, I do not care. I am not a bleeder nor a menstruator, a womb carrier or uterus haver. Those words and phrases are such a sham. Just call me a woman. It is who I am. We are women. We are warriors of steel. Woman is something no man will ever feel. Woman is not a skill that any man can hone. Woman is our word and is ours alone.
The war on women, which we've mentioned here on Outsiders and been fighting against the war on women here on Outsiders for so long, will be won by women like her and girls like her. The least we men can do is speak up for them. Shame on all those male and female politicians, business leaders, marketing people, and professionals who pander to this radical transgender madness. Shame on you.